Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Snoo. Welcome to the big leagues. Are you guys ready for this? This is for all you high rollers out there. I'm going to be farming crazy amounts of Scarabs today with this brand new farm I've been working on for about 2 weeks. And if you did Affliction League, Last League like I did, you know how challenging some of these maps can be. It was a different animal back then, but I would say what I'm doing today is on a similar threshold of just how difficult some of that stuff. I'm talking about the abyssal, unidentified, crazy pack size, +2 projectile maps, where lag was kind of the barrier of entry for those farms, as well as, you know, how crazy rippy some of those mobs were. This time, it's really just straight up difficult. We're doing back to basics. The map modifiers are going to be the real barrier to entry, which means you can kind of get around some of the difficulty today with just a hyper restrictive map rolling, but that can be pretty costly. However, you can also roll maps for profit at the same time, which is why it doesn't really cost anything to roll the maps. But nevertheless, quadruple Meatsacks is what I'll be running today, so that's just going to make hard maps no matter who you are, no matter what kind of build you have. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's some builds out there that can handle this easily. My now mirror tier bow build can finally, you know, really get a handle on these maps. So this is why I've waited to bring this to you. I started doing this about 2 weeks ago. Character wasn't really fit for it, even on like 300, 400 div pure elemental build. I know there are some other builds out there that can do it. Detonate Dead, for example, absolutely can. But anyway, here we go. Can't wait to see how many Scarabs I get. This may, in fact, be something like a curations pure per hour farm. Look at this. We have the Scarab list, and this is what I'm going from. This is the target farm right here. The high-end Scarabs, blocking off all of the Scarabs that are associated with League mechanics, and we're just going for these really top-tier ones, mostly Divination Scarab of Curation, of course, which is trending upwards right now, as a matter of fact. We got a lot of other good ones. We get a lot of Bloodlines in there, a lot of Ambush Scarabs of Containment. They will add up. We'll get some Divine Orbs. We'll get a lot of different stuff because the Meatsacks do drop some things. We'll make it some tier 0 uniques. Now, they're very likely to see a few of those in 100 maps, of course. But anyway, we have, let's go through the Atlas first. And the Atlas is, man, I use this Atlas for everything. I use it for Barrel and Go, use it for Curations Barrel and Go, and use it for this Meatsack Scarab farm, basically. So it's just an all-in Scarabs farm. It is maximum Scarabs, 179% increased Scarabs dropped. And what we're doing here is we're just running these on tier 17s, cranking up the more Scarab multipliers. I'm going to show you the maps in a minute. High quant, high increased effective modifiers on the maps. And I guess singular focus doesn't really matter. But anyway, you can see I'm just taking all the Scarab nodes and all of the increased effect modifiers, blocking everything I can. A little bit of the League mechanic stuff because it does help. And it is very reminiscent of a Wandering Path strategy that, you know, doesn't have a whole lot of different places to put the points. It's quite similar to that. I used to target farm some more of these, but again, curations per hour, I'm basically just going for Divination Curation Scarab and some of the other really high ones. So that's what the Atlas is all about. Very simple. And again, this translates to all kinds of different strategies. I suppose I should probably do this, technically. That'd be a little bit better. Anyway, slight change. Atlas is in the description below. 400 all-famed embers of Meatsacks are present here. They make the maps a lot harder. They drop a lot more loot, and they've been used for a variety of different things, but they are trending downward because there's no really popular farm with them right now, I think. They used to be used for like ghosted Meatsack uniques farming, but the unique market's in shambles right now. But I have found them to work quite well for Scarabs. And I know there's different things like different Syndicate All Flames. I tried that, didn't work out all that well. Barrel and Go makes some Scarabs drop. Yeah, it's all right, but trust me, it doesn't produce Scarabs the way this does. And if you don't believe me, just stick around for the first map showcase. I'll show you nice and well just how many Scarabs are dropping from this. So I have 100 maps. Each one of these maps has at least 100% more Scarabs. At least 100% more. Some of them are spectacularly rolled. That's what happens when you roll tons of maps. Yeah, it took me a long time to roll these maps, but you know what? It didn't cost me anything because I have been demonstrating time and time again to you guys I even did a 1-hour showcase of this. Today I just sold a map for the highest cost ever, and it was 14 divines. It's the most I've ever sold one single map. There it is, right there. Proof of a map sale there. I'm still selling these. Right and left, I got a bunch more that are, you know, sitting in here. These are mainly the new antagonist mod. Looking for that's the new Nemesis mod called Antagonist with Shaper Touched. And these maps go for a lot because they are the sort of premier highest end farm. It's not exactly what I'm doing today. I'm rolling the maps a little differently, which means I get the luxury of rolling my own maps for free, effectively, because I can sell the really, really top-end ones. I'm just going for this new antagonist mod, increased number of rare monsters, because that's going to increase the number of rare Meatsacks monsters, and it's going to give them a huge amount, or a huge number of additional modifiers, which will be amped up even more so with the back to basics and increased modifiers. In fact, rare monsters have basically 7 or 8 additional modifiers, and when it's cranked up that high with huge more Scarab multiplier and huge quantity multipliers, they drop a crazy amount of Scarabs. And so that's the target here. And you might be wondering, well, how did you go about rolling that? Well, I have a special regex for that, actually. The most robust regex I've ever had. This is target farming that new antagonist roll. And then it's also blocking a total of 4 really awful ones, like marked for death and no damage 4 out of 10 seconds and less recovery, and one more I think. And then it's also checking for either Shaper Touched or barrels or 100% increased Scarab. This regex is linked in the description. You can always check it on Twitch. For you guys asking in the chat, there you go. I think that's right. Whoops, that's actually the wrong one. That's actually the wrong one in this picture. I'll fix that in a minute. My bad. All right. So we have everything here, everything all set and ready to go. I'm just gonna take you down to the cost. Well, actually, at first, I get a little out of order here. We got to talk about the Scarabs, right? All right. So Scarabs are going to be Horn Scarab of Nemesis, and this is actually the most important Scarab to increase the number of modifiers, because what I just said about the rare Meatsacks monsters dropping way more loot when they have more modifiers. That's part of the core game now. Hunted Traders, you know what? I still don't know if this actually transforms some of the rares into Meatsacks monsters. If it does, and this is a truly great Scarab. However, if it doesn't, it's just kind of mediocre. It does add a lot of monsters to the map, but you're going to see not that many Scarabs drop from just regular monsters. Next up, we have a couple of Scarabs that are honestly pretty flexible, and I have 40% increased quant on the player gear, 20 here, 8 here, and another 12 to Divination Distillate. So that does matter for Scarab drop, but you can get up to I can get up to 140% increased quantity on the player, which actually translates to roughly about 70% more after diminished returns. So it's not that impactful. It will result in a lot more uniques though, because I don't have much rarity on gear. And it's a little hard to keep this buff up on this Meatsacks farm. You have to be pretty fast. You've got to be pretty strong kill very fast to keep this up. So it's not the greatest Scarab here, but the thing is, it's just such a flexible slot. I don't have anything much better to use. There is that one that increases, gives you 4 packs of mirrored rares. It's okay, but that's not Meatsacks, all right? So I don't really care that much about it. The last one is a fun one. Again, flexible slots. These maps can be pretty dangerous. This can come in really handy and actually save the day on this one. So you can use this Scarab or a different one if you want. But, you know, average 12 portals per map. Can be fun. I don't expect that I'll have too much difficulty on these maps. Some of the maps are pretty hard. And we're going to show you the first one in just a second. First, here's the cost. 243 divines. There's a little bit of an error in here. I don't know why 2 of the Meatsacks are kind of like nothing. But anyway, there everything is, and I'm not adding any cost to the cost of rolling the maps. Yes, if I was just explicitly trying to roll these maps and only had the regex for that, it would cost a lot to roll these maps. But again, I say it time and time again now, map rolling is free. You can actually profit on the side while doing it, and that's what I'm doing. So I really have no reason to factor in a cost of rolling the maps unless I'm doing the Shaper Touched Antagonist map farm. Then I do need to count it. Okay, and there it is, 244 to make up for that little error in the Meatsacks. 2.44 divines, per map. These maps will take a little while to complete, a little longer than usual. I was only going to do 50 maps of this, but ended up going for the full shebang here. All right, real quick, just gonna put the right regex in for the community. There we go. So we're gonna take 4 Meatsacks. We're gonna add that to the map, and in almost every case, I'm gonna add 4 Meatsacks to the map. We're gonna start with one of the best rolled maps that I have, a surprisingly not dangerous map for 203% more Scarabs. Even has a perfect cluster barrel roll. You will find if you research this. I don't know what this is doing here. Huh, that's weird. I don't know where that map came from. Put that away for now. Oh yeah, can't forget the Scarabs. And we're going to be using the quantity of items found, of course. So we're hoping for a really high back to basics roll. We'll see. And we're hoping for some good stuff here, but I didn't get anything good, unfortunately. It's nice if I see high pack size. I'll be running Sanctuary or Fortress. It's because I was rolling those 2 maps, just generally speaking. I do not know if 50% less a pack size or more makes these mobs duplicate. I don't actually know if the map has 100% increased pack size, if that duplicates the Meatsacks. I don't think it does. I think they're hard-coded for 1, based on what I can tell. Alright, so a little bit of a nasty mod here, but I think this will be okay. Converts on death, these are really bad. We're really looking for pack is possessed or touched, increased quantity of drops from it, and accompanied by a Harbinger is really strong too for the map. So those are the really nice ones, and we'll see those eventually, every now and then. So there we go, 4 Meatsacks ready to go. Okay. And I can see what kind of roll I got, and I was really hoping for a nice roll, but we got a pretty awful well, this number up here, increased number of rare monsters, if it's over 100%, it's decent. If it's under 100%, it's not very good. I think that's somewhere around the breakpoint, maybe 40% more. Now, anyway, I still have a really high Scarab roll here because it's such an insanely rolled map. And I'm going to be showing you just how many Scarabs drop in here by deliberately using the wrong loot filter. So I'm actually using this one, Omega Strict here. This is the one that hides most of my Scarabs, most of the loot in general. This one is going to show every single Scarab. I'm just going to do this for you as a demonstration so you can see firsthand just how wild this is. Just wait until we start actually killing some of these mobs. Okay. Now you tell me if that is more Scarabs than you normally see in, I don't know, basically any other farm in the game. Because I'm pretty sure that's more Scarabs than you get in Syndicate or, you know, basically anything else. Barrels aren't dropping that many Scarabs. Certainly not in the same amount of time it takes to do this. And I believe hiding in here we got a Curation Scarab. Alright, so that's a nice one. RSI incoming my hand. No, I'm not going to be picking these up. I'm gonna leave these on the ground. So we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you just how few Scarabs really appear on the loot filter. So it's much more reasonable. The interesting thing about Scarab farming right now is, you know, a lot of people have kind of given up on Scarab farming because it's obviously a lot of the Scarabs aren't worth nearly as much as they were before because of this barrel and ghost strat. But again, you know, if you're able to do a strat like this, I mean, you can still make a lot of profit on Scarabs, as we're going to see after the end of this. Now, the problem here is I get a little bit lost on where I'm going because there's so much clutter on the screen. Can't see where to go. I'm going to kind of show you that glittering Scarab in action. You can see the numbers down there with the quant and rarity. You can see that, you know, I'm getting decent value out of that, even though there's so few mobs in here. It's quite forgiving. There's a Bloodline Scarab too. Yeah, the sort of decay, it goes up really fast when you're killing rares, and it decays relatively slowly. So, I mean, even on a strat like this, as long as the map's not too difficult, I feel like it's worth using. Ooh, what is this? That guy was gonna live. Sometimes we get crit resistant regen, and that was definitely a combination that was difficult for my character to handle. Again, this is an easier than usual map, and I will be facing some pretty tough maps. And you guys are probably like gawk-eyed right now how many Scarabs you are dropping. You notice that I'm not all that impressed, really. I'm just sitting here disappointed that I didn't get a good back to basics roll, because we would be seeing 2 or 3 times more Scarabs if I had. This number down here, this more Scarab multiplier down here, that would say 700% more Scarabs found if I had hit 80%. So yeah, just let that sink in. Oh, crazy. Of course, you know, I will see it eventually. Maybe we'll get some highlights, obviously. Get some highlights. So we're almost done with the map. Kind of sustaining Headhunter buff's okay. I will try to do the boss, but I mean, you can probably forgive me if I don't do the boss every time. I don't really care about the loot from the boss. It's going to pale in comparison to what I'm getting here from these mobs. I think I did them all, but anyway, here's the boss. Just kind of have to do the phases. Much easier on Fortress, of course, for the most part. Wow. Synth map. Okay, so now I'm actually going to loot, and I'm going to show you just how few Scarabs are present on the map. Suddenly, this looks a lot easier to handle, doesn't it? So really, this is just kind of checking for tier 0s and picking up only Scarabs that are worth about 3 chaos and above. Which honestly isn't that many Scarabs left. There aren't that many that are worth 3 chaos and above. Which is why I say, again, kind of like the curations per hour farm is what this is. Oh, I left one alive. Couple of good ones. The bloodlines and containment ambush Scarabs quite common on a farm like this. Remember how many Scarabs were on the floor? Remember how it was just like, you can't even see what in the heck is going on? Well, now it looks reasonable. It looks totally reasonable now. And this just kind of, you know, it just goes to show the importance of having a good loot filter, which is linked in the description, of course. Anyway, that's it. Say intro of the video is over now, so let's move on. We'll see some really juicy highlights, I'm sure, at some point. Second curation, same map. Whoa. And an unkillable mob. Oh god, I had no flash charges. And shroud walking. Okay, okay. Double bloodlines. Life regen. Yeah. Let's see you regen now, bitch. Got him. No, not ready. Another red stuff. Reliquary key. Another bloodlines. Oh my god, all the scarabs are dropping. And so is my life. This map's a winner. The currency farming strat, and I got 10 C. Yeah, but did you make any friends along the way? It's okay if you make some friends along the way. See, I made a friend. I got a friend right here. That's the important thing. He keeps me motivated. Yeah. Alright, a little bit too much motivation, buddy. You're gonna have to calm down. Weird flex. Oh, this is starting to look a little spicy. Well, the good news is if I don't kill anything, there aren't any volatile cores. To vibe it. God, I really don't want to brick this. Yo, what in the world? This has got to stop, man. Double portal here, maybe. Two more headhunter buffs were stolen. Be a lot of dying mobs there. Okay. God, Shroud Walker, please. Please, for once, don't do it. God, fuck me, dude. Oh, this curation. I would grab it, but, you know, it's a death sentence, so... What I am going to do is take 70 headhunter buffs and crush this freaking mob that was causing so many problems for me. Wait, what? Where is it? I'm just going to kill, like, as many mobs as I can. Basically it. Wow, Shroud Walker, would you stop? Oh my god. It's a miracle I survived as long as I did there. I think if anything, for a strat like this, you should go more towards no MF. You should probably just be doing like Omni Ice Shot or something. Omni Lightning Arrow. Maybe Omni TS. A little bit unlucky to have not gotten a curation out of this map. Oh! Unlucky. Yep, very unlucky. To be fair, we do see a lot of uniques on the ground. Ooh, pretty good spawn here. High in the 400s. Okay, we got a good map. And I'm already dead. Well, like I said, it's a good map. I mean, just drop a curation off every mob. It's easy. Yoink. A third curation in one map. Oh my god. We did it. Third curation. I'm trying to kill those bosses with no headhunter buffs. Not a good time. It's a very good time if you do have them. It's night and day. Oh, there we go. Finally, the elusive horn scarab of preservation. Overdue for that. I'm done trying to loot. It's too hard. Finally. Been a while since I saw the curation. So we got preservation and curation on the same map. Oh my god. Dude. That is a lot of Meatsacks. Well, the glittering scarab is smiling right now. Oh, whoa. That's a rare one. Calandra's Touch. Third tier 0. Couple divines. Reservation, second one. Rarest scarab in the game. Yeah, I wouldn't do Windward unless you have the Soul Eater gloves. There we go, that's a curation scarab. Because that is what enables you to, like, immediately get your Gale wins right back up to 10. So like even when I get hit, by the time I get hit again, I'll have 30% reduced damage taken. Again. And that synergizes nicely with Wind Dancer. In the event that Wind Dancer brings your evasion up to cap, which for me it does. Takes me from like 87% to 95% evasion. That's a really nice combo there. I've magically managed to cap my evasion with virtually 0 evasion on gear. One of the kind of coolest things about the build. Oh, that's actually a huge amount. It's off the screen. Might be a 5,000 alteration mob. Who came for the alterations? Haha. Second tier 0. Same map. Yeah. I'm a little bit lucky to find 2 Mage Bloods in 100 maps. I don't think 1 is lucky though. 1 is probably average. Because I only have like 6 different tier 0s even on my loot filter right now. Imagine if we had Horn Scarab of Glittering last league in Affliction. Dude. That would have been sick. Valdo's puzzle box. Well, it's about time. It took a 554% more currency multiplier to find that. Pretty overdue for that one. You get 2 Mage Bloods before I get a puzzle box. What do I need the puzzle box for? Whoa, increased movement speed match? Nice mana, dude. Got no mana. Well, how is he still on me? Get out of here. Oh my god. The only reason I'm still alive is because I don't have Shroud Walker. Oh, now I do, though. Oh, fuck. I gotta kill the Mana Siphoner and then that'll be it. I get through the preservation lag like crazy. Oh, I got a second Mana Siphoner. And Progenesis is down. 74 Headhunter buff, still gonna die though. Probably not if Progenesis is up. I swear to God, if this guy kills me. It's one guy. Man, it's lagging so much. Why am I using glittering? Like, I don't know, because well over half of them got the full impact of the glittering. I'm off-screening a lot of mobs that you don't see, too. Normal mobs that aren't part of the Meatsacks. I mean, something's working. I got a preservation and curation Scarab this map, so she's doing something right. Enikora's Lock? Oh man, the first one of the league. 565% more currency found in area. Whoa. It's like a third of a mirror. It's too bad that glittering... It's too bad I'm not getting very good use out of the glittering Scarab. Am I right? Too bad. If only I could make more use of the glittering Scarab. Maybe one of these days I'll be a real gamer. Actually, kill more faster. Take my own advice and kill more faster. Actually have a real build. Like lightning arrow. Instead of whatever the hell this lousy cold build is. Oh, well, maybe the map mods were hard. I don't know. Got you guys pretty good, right? You didn't think I was really Scarab farming, huh? No, it's alteration farming. It's an alteration strat. 35,900 alterations were picked up. Not that many clicks, though, thank goodness. Anyway, we got results, and there it is, right in front of you. With the Wealthy Exile app, it's looking pretty good. It's counting almost everything. Definitely had some jackpot moments. Very nice highlights, I think. A lot of highlights. I was surprised to see a Hinakora's Lock drop, except not after I realized I was dropping Sacred Orbs on the regular. Dropped a Divine Orb every other map. A Curation Scarab about every 3 maps. A couple of Mage Bloods, a couple of Rakietta's Dances, a couple of other things. Dropped 2 of each tier 0, it seemed like. Well, I didn't drop any Headhunters, I guess. Shucks, never lucky. But, yeah, here's the list. Tons of Scarabs. You can see the breakdown up here. 863 Divines worth of Scarab. Next was Currency. Next was Uniques. And then All Flames, I guess. Yeah, we had a couple of Shaper, or 1 Shaper All Flame, and a few Meatsacks and Manifested Wealth. Most of the Uniques are counted at minimum value, regardless of their roll range. But there it is. Notice at the top of the list, some big numbers here. 290 Divines of Curations, a couple Mage Bloods up there. Ambush, 101 Divines of Ambush, Scarab of Containment. That's the Monstrous Treasure Scarab. Horn Scarab of Awakening's always been pretty popular with different strats, and then Alteration. Which, by the way, I sell at an even better rate than this. Because in bulk, I can sell like I think I do like 460 to 1 Divine, something like that. So it's a little bit better, actually. But yeah, pretty cool. Bloodlines. Scarab. This used to be higher, so I expected this to be higher on the list, but it wasn't. Alright, so we got some Devouring Fragments too. You know, killed a lot of bosses, especially the Sanctuary boss. So a lot of that up there. About 50-50 on the Sanctuary versus Fortress maps. 1 Baldo's box, a few keys. I don't know, I feel like it was pretty regular drop. Maybe a little bit like... The only real outlier I think here might be the fact that I dropped a 2nd Mage Blood in 100 maps. I don't think it's weird that I dropped 1, considering I dropped like 9 tier 0s or something. And I have like half of them off the filter, by the way. So I dropped most of the tier 0s on my filter at least once. And yeah, it seems pretty good. That's why I do 100 maps, so we can kind of get a sense of even normalizing the jackpot drop, so to speak. But it was all about the curations. 31 curations. And about 13 hours of farming. It was. About 13 hours of farming. We got the numbers here. Investment 244 Divines in total. That does not count Chaos rolling the maps again. Because I was Chaos rolling for Shaper touched maps too and selling them for profit as well. We also got, or rather, we got the gross here of 1,387 Divines, which I just showed you in the app. Net around 1,143 Divines. Divines per map over 10, which is nice. And some maps I lost money, definitely, a few. Especially if I got like a bad back to basics roll and a low Scarab roll. Would lose currency on it, but, you know, get the crazy drops some other times. And again, out of 13 hours, put to 87 Divines per hour. I was hoping I might hit 100 div an hour on this farm, but I figured it probably couldn't or wouldn't. And anyway, at my current pace, current luck, couldn't quite get there, so still pretty pleased. And yeah, I'll save a little bit more for the final thoughts. But anyway, that is it for those results. Go back in, and we see the dump tabs all here. You can see it's mostly Alteration Orbs. Some tier 0s hiding in there. A lot of the other uniques have been like corrupted or 6-linked. You know. Anyway, there it is. A few little honorable mentions here. A nice 4th Vow Corruption. A perfectly rolled Divines of Destiny, which again the app's not counting that. And a Quant Biscos dropped also. Actually dropped on the ground, which is kind of crazy. Didn't corrupt it because I'm not picking those up normally. Okay, there you go. Nice, quick, and easy. All right, so I forgot to mention, I think I got 6 sacred orbs. How much did you buy the Meatsacks for? Is the question. About half a divine. In some cases, I paid maybe like, what was it, like 0.6 to 1, that kind of ratio for bulk. Okay, let me give you my final thoughts on this farm. It was obviously pretty challenging. Definitely required strong character. Maybe not the best thing for bows to do, because it's nice if you have a beefy, tanky character. But to clear it fast, I mentioned Detonate Dead. It's probably strong with this. There might be a whole lot of other builds. Let me know in the comments if you are aware of any builds that would absolutely thrive at this farm. Hopefully I was able to surprise you guys with just how many Scarabs drop, especially in that opening map. And yeah, it was a crazy number of Scarabs. It's a little bit of investment in the map, but it's a different kind of map that we're target rolling, so there's not a whole lot of competition with you know, trying to roll the best maps possible. You can sell really good ones, you can run the ones that don't hit really good to hit this, and anything above 100% more Scarabs with at least 1 Meatsacks per map, probably going to earn you some decent currency, but that's only if you can do the map. So for me, this is a fun strat because I've been trying to do it for like 2 weeks and started around like a 200 divine budget elemental build character. Really wasn't up to snuff on it. When I got it up to about max around 400 divine budget, I could do it, but not with 4 Meatsacks, maybe with 2. When I switched over to Fizz, my damage effectively tripled, and that's when I could do, you know, basically any number of Meatsacks on the map, so long as the map was rolled pretty well. The modifiers that increase monsters' effective health are much worse than modifiers that reduce my effective health when it comes to this farm, at least I found on this. So that's all I got for you. Nice, quick, and easy outro. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Again, very much enjoyed this one, but it is a stressful farm. It reminds me of the Abyss +2 projectiles farming from Affliction League. And it definitely produces a lot of highlight moments. So that's the main reason to do it. That is the main reason to get that dopamine kick from the exploding meat sack full of Scarabs and then hitting that curation highlight there. So that's what I hope for you. Good luck if you're trying this farm. Hopefully the meat sack market doesn't get crippled from this. I don't think there's that many people who are actually going to do this farm. But anyway, I wanted to showcase it, and we'll be moving on to something new next time.